Sha'Carri Richardson versus Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. It's a matchup that people have wanted to see this entire season, and we're finally going to get it, because the Diamond League is bringing it to us in Brussels. I'm not making this up. I mean, yes, people pull out. This is track and field, but we can look forward to this meet. And the funny thing is, when I heard it, I thought I was in a dream, because this is not the first matchup that we've been given. Think about it. Noah Lyles versus Shane Thompson. That's going to happen in Saliza. We're also going to get Gabby Thomas, Julian Alfred, and Tarika Jackson. That's a 200-meter dash. And that one is going to go down in Lausanne. The Diamond League is giving us a whole bunch of races with the matchups we want to see. And this is only a few weeks before the World Championships are going to go off. So the real question is not just the races themselves. Like, we can talk about that. Like, is Sha'Carri Richardson going to be able to, get close to Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, much less beat her? Like, the form that she's been in up until this point? I mean, yes, that is a debate. For the record, I'm taking Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, and I'm not really thinking much about it. I don't expect Sha'Carri Richardson to actually, look like herself until we get to the World Championship. But hey, it is what it is. If you move on from that, the conversation is still a lot deeper. Like, why are we getting all these races and we're getting them now? We're getting them because the World Championships are coming. I'm not making this up. If you look at the write-ups, some of these races are even described as a dress rehearsal for the World Championship. And maybe you agree, like maybe that's how you feel about the sport, that these races are a dress rehearsal. They're just an opportunity to prepare for the big race. But as far as I can tell, the Diamond League is the biggest thing we have in track and field. That's not the World Championships this year. I mean, yes, Grand Slam track happened, but that was then. This is now. And we're getting these races because, yes, the athletes, they need to race. They need to prepare in order to go to, the big event. But the races themselves, like, okay, fine. Who's going to win? Because Shane Thompson or Noah Lyles? I mean, does it really matter? Because no one's going to remember what happens when they face off in Saliza. For the record, Kenny Bednarek is going to be there as well. Like, he might win. Okay, let's just play that game. Let's say we live in a world where Kenny Bednarek wins a 100-meter dash against Shane Thompson and Noah Lyles in Saliza. You could say it's a big deal till you remember that Shane Thompson already lost to Akani Simbini earlier this year. Like, the man's not bulletproof. Like, he does lose races. But it won't matter if you don't do it again at the World Championship meet. That is the big meet on the calendar. So yes, the Diamond League is giving us. I'm outside, by the way, so if you hear some noise, like the sounds of nature, it is what it is. But I just thought you all deserve to know what's going down. And yes, we're getting these big races. It's something for us to look forward to. I am going to pay attention to these races. Like, I am going to cover them. But while I'm covering them, I'm still aware that these are just preparation races. Like, they're just, putting us in tune for what else is going to happen after the fact. And when I say after the fact, it's the World Championships. It's the only meet on the calendar that actually matters. Now, I've gone on record to say that professional track and field is in a state of crisis. You may not agree with me, but at the very least, many people know that we need a facelift. Justin Gatlin said it himself, like on the Ready, Set, Go podcast. And the facelift that we need is that pro track and international track cannot be conflated into the exact same thing. Those accomplishments on both ends should be celebrated for what they are. The Diamond League is going to have a final. I mean, notice I gave you 3 different destinations: Saliza, Lausanne, and Brussels. But I didn't say anything about the Diamond League final, which, as far as I know, is going to be in Zurich. I mean, technically the fields are going to have to still get set based on what happens the next few weeks. But the Diamond League final, I don't think, is the meet that a lot of people have circled on their calendar. As fans, I don't think that's what people are focused on, nor are the athletes. Like, if you had to skip out on the Diamond League final, but you have a lane at Worlds in an event you're trying to go for a medal, who cares? It's really not that big a deal. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, and if you really want to know what's going on with the fastest athletes in the world, then you are in the right place. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. It's the reason why we haven't seen Sydney McLaughlin-Lavroni really run on the Diamond League for a very long time. The one time she ran in what would have been a Diamond League meeting this year was at the Prefontaine. And she wanted to run the 400, and they weren't offering it as a Diamond League section. So she just ran it anyway. like it technically doesn't count for the Diamond League. So when it comes to the Diamond League final, I'm not expecting her to see her in it, because we already know how that movie played out last year where she didn't run in that final. It ain't about talent, it's just the way things are set up. The Diamond League does give us good fields. I am here to admit it. Like, if you want to see the heavy hitters in the sport go at it, and then you tell me in the women's 200-meter dash, you're going to give me Julian Alfred, Sharika Jackson, and Gabby Thomas. Like, this is going to happen in a 200. That's about as good as it's going to get. I mean, you're getting the last two medalists that we had, gold, silver. You're getting the world champion from 2023 who wasn't able to run in 2024. Like, they are the best women in the world in that event in recent memory. Again, Sha'Carri Richardson, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, like, they may both be American, but to get them racing, like, this is the sport that we're in, where the matchups are important. But here's what we really need. The races themselves need to have stakes. And when I say stakes, the Diamond League final is cool. But until the athletes really believe that the Diamond League final matters, because the people who really care about the Diamond League final, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you some names. If you're Trayvon Bromell, the Diamond League final means a whole lot more to you now, because you don't have a guaranteed lane at the Worlds. If for some chance he actually does win the Diamond League final, I don't know how all the wild card rules work, but who knows? He might be able to get himself a wild card lane by winning that. You see what I'm saying? Those are the people for whom the Diamond League final actually matters. Everybody else, I mean, yes, there's a payday there, but if you're capable of winning the Diamond League final, but you also know you're competing for a very serious, like you're a real medal threat, especially going after gold at the Worlds, you don't need the money that the Diamond League final is going to give you. Like, you don't need it. It might be nice, but you don't need it. Especially, weeks before Worlds, that just may not be your priority. Again, the way the sport is set up right now, we have, different groups of athletes. And I'm even going to give you a name. If you follow men's hurdles this year, in the 110 hurdles, Dylan Beard will be at the World Championships. But he didn't know that he was going to be there at first representing America when this season started. He believed he could, but that's not the same thing as actually knowing you're going to go. Dylan Beard has been running all year long. Wherever they had hurdles, he was racing. So when we're having a discussion about indoor versus outdoor and, should people run indoors, run through the world indoor, all of that, he was racing the entire time without fail. If they had a meet with hurdles and he could get in the lanes, he was there. Now he's going to be at the Worlds. Like, that is now going to happen. He qualified to represent Team USA. But for him, all of those races had stakes. And the stakes were he was running for his livelihood, because that's professional track and field. Like, it is what it is. But now, like, the Diamond League set up the way it's structured, like, hey, I'm going to enjoy the field for what they are. It's just I know that, think of it like watching a boxing match where people are pulling punches. That's why winning these races don't matter anywhere near as much as it probably should. Sha'Carri Richardson lost in the Olympic final. Then she goes back onto the Diamond League and actually beats Julian Alfred. Pretty handily, might I add. I remember that race. But nobody really took it anywhere near as seriously, because the games are one thing, and then you go into another Diamond League race, it's whatever. And then there was a Diamond League final where she didn't run well. Like, that happened, and Julian Alfred was the victor. But still, everything keeps tracing back to the Olympic Games itself, or for that matter, the World Championships, because that is when Sha'Carri Richardson last, proved it to the world. We're now almost 2 years removed. For that matter, it might be longer on the calendar based on how this year's, calendar sets up from when she actually won that gold medal. But in the way the sport is set up right now, if you want to see real competition, that's what we want. The only two dates that matter if you're American, for example, are the USA Championships if you need to qualify and you don't have a wild card, because Sha'Carri had a wild card. So the USA didn't even matter. So we didn't get a Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, Sha'Carri Richardson matchup then. It just didn't happen. And then the Worlds themselves. That's it. And good luck out there trying to promote a sport where there's only a few moments on the calendar that matter. All the other races are dress rehearsals. They are scrimmages. They are practices. They might even be paid scrimmages. Don't get me wrong. But in the eyes of most casual fans, the only time that it actually matters when you come in first is when the stakes are high. And right now, pro track doesn't really have a whole lot of stakes. I'm going to be paying attention to the Diamond League. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to follow all those races and even let you know what happened. And trust me, I'll try to put it all in perspective. But spoiler alert, that perspective is always going to keep tracing back to the World Championship meet. Because even though we have pro track meets, they don't really matter that much if you don't prove it at the World Championships themselves. Nobody wins in track and field without putting in the work, because any real track star has to prove it, both on the track and in the weight room. With the I Trained Hard for This shirt, you can let everyone know that your success is not an accident. Get yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.